Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss view class. So just as we know, Android is moving towards the Compose UI framework, or I will say Compose UI library, and they are also Android is recommending to move towards that. But still, I know there are too many applications which are currently using view system, and I don't think so they can migrate too fast, and still there are some issues people are facing with the especially performance on a low end devices when they are trying to mix XML and compose. So I still think it's not deprecated, it's good to understand how they implement it. Yeah, but I'm sure in near future this knowledge will be deprecated, which is still okay, but there will be some learning. So today we will discuss mainly uh, three classes: view, text view, and button. And I will do more videos on compound button, radio button, but they will be in a different video because otherwise it's pretty long video. So view.java, once you will open it, it depends on your machine how much memory you have, because on some machines it may take longer to show you. So basically there are total 31,178 lines. And if I'm not wrong, again, if I'm not wrong, I remember I reviewed this code first time, I think so 5 6 years ago. And if I'm not wrong, again, at that time that is around 20,000 lines of code. Maybe there is a possibility I'm confusing with something, but I have a feeling like no, that class is a view at that time. But okay, coming back to this, so today it's 31,178 number of lines, and it's pretty difficult to review this class. Like, you can understand easily, it's not easy to explore this class in 30 minutes. So what we can do, uh, we will see only the class structure, how they implemented, if there are any extra interfaces, or it extending anything else. And then our approach will be take, for example, text view, and then we will come from the text view perspective. Okay, these functionalities are available in text view, and then we will see how that is implemented, because everything in an Android is extends from the view. So if we only jump into the view, it's pretty difficult to understand everything in a one go. But from the child classes it's pretty easy, like we can only focus on what we want to understand, and then we will review only that code. So first moving towards, so you can see there are mainly it's extends from the Java object, and there are three interfaces. I think we should review these. So first interface is, okay, so that is a class drawable.java. Inside of that there is a callback, invalidate drawable, schedule, and okay, it's an abstract class. So what is this class? A drawable is general abstraction for something that can be drawn. The drawable has the type of resource retrieve for drawing things to the screen. Drawable class provides generic API for dealing with an underlying visual resources that may take a variety of forms. Unlike a view, a drawable does not have any facility to receive events or otherwise interact with the user. Okay. Then key events. So what is this class on key down? Okay, so it's more like a keyboard, and this class extends from the input event. So object used to report key and button events. Then third is accessibility event source. So this interface implemented by classes source of accessibility events. It's an accessibility event. Okay, so nothing interested. Yeah, we can do a separate video on a drawable class, but for now we can move towards the uh, maybe we can review some of the number of lines, the start one, and then we will jump into the text view. So once it's going to start, view class, debug draw, some constants, then visible, invisible, gone, visibility mask, autofill hint, email address. Hint indicate that this view can be autofilled with an email address. Okay, So it's a pretty big class, it's a gold class. And now we will see w- the problem with inheritance, and how the Android view system move everything in a view class, and then they are extending, and then they are overriding, and there is a interface segregation like this. The whole view system is breaking kind of the solid, but in my opinion, which is okay. There is nothing which can 100% make sure it's following solid. So now the biggest problem I think is the extensions. So once they want to add new features or something new, then personally I face some issues with the inheritance. Then you will face a lot of issues, and as we know, Android always launch every year, and then they need to add something new. It's a painful process. So we can go directly now in a text view. TextView.java. So first coming towards this, okay, so text view is extends from the view and implements view tree observer on pre-draw listener. I'm not aware of this listener. What is this? So it's saying, okay, interface definition for a callback to invoke when a view tree is about to be drawn on pre-draw. Callback method to be invoked when the view tree is about to be drawn. At this point, all views in the tree have been measured and given a frame. Clients can use this to adjust their scroll bounds or even to request a new layout before drawing occurs. Okay, makes sense. So what extra information we have in view class? So these are the default values. Middle, okay, then marquee lines. Yeah, I use personally a lot in XML. Then color state list, integer cursor text color. What is current text color? What is this? Get current text color. Yep. Then there is a factory pattern. What is this? Editable factory, spannable factory, shadow radius, text classifier. So this is drawables, left, top, right, bottom, anything inside. Compatibility mode, right to left. Okay, then there is a drawables. This is a constructor. When this will be called, target SDK. If it's jelly bean, yeah, so when they start uh, compatibility in jelly bean. Okay, so if it's less than jelly bean, then do this. Nice. Then has metadata. So true if the object contains metadata that needs to be retained. Not aware of that. What is this? Layout direction. Okay, then from here they are checking how to draw. Nice. So if it's this, start drawable as left drawable if the left drawable was not defined. Jelly bean plus normal case start and drawables are overriding left right. So this one, if you ever work with the locale, which with both locales, left to right and right to left, the languages, then I'm sure you can understand easily what this code is. Then moving set error drawable, then apply error drawable if needed. Drawables, character wrapper. What is this character wrapper? This may be interesting. Okay, it's an internal class. Character sequence, get characters. Okay, character sequence, I'm aware of this class little bit, but this one is new to me. Please implement this interface if your character sequence has a get character method. Okay, graphic operations. And under the hood, is it they are using this to tackle the text view when we do the set text? So we can read this. Length character at string get character system dot array copy. And when they are doing copy, so when I'm saying okay, get character start and character buff offset, if it's not like the issue, then Wow. So name is get characters. I'm expecting there will be a return a type of a string or kind of some kind of array of characters, but the return type is void. So this name is confusing. And in the end, what this is doing is copying. So what is this m characters? Okay, yeah. So this one is internally, if I'm not wrong, if okay, maybe we can check. Is it this which is used? So where they are using this set text. So when I'm calling set text or anyone is calling set text, so there are multiple methods around set text. So mostly I used to call simply set text with a string or maybe ID. And this one is again set text. This one is private, this one is public. Maybe what I can do, I can call text view dot set text import please, and this context dot set text, and now open this for me. So most probably under that was calling the same. Yes, my expectation is this. Now this one is calling buffer type, then it's going to here characters, then it's going inside character sequence text buffer type notify before, then what is this text? Okay, so if it's null they are putting empty. Okay, so no, they are not crashing. Nice. Enable remove the suggestion, then is suggestions enabled? Okay, then text paint text scale x, then it's saying okay text instance of span, then what they're trying to do this, then doing this. If it's not a span, set ellipse size in the end. Okay, then what is this filters character sequence filters, from where it's coming filters. So just like you can see, if you are working with the compose and now in a text view, so it's more like imperative code. It's pretty difficult to understand. Like m filters is a class level variable, so if I want to understand what is this, I need to go outside of this method. But in case of a declarative code and how they are implementing in a compose, they are giving everything as a composition. Everything mostly is a part of that method where they are passing as a parameter. So that is the one big difference. So if I try 6261, what is this? So input filter. Okay, so for now there are no filters. Okay, if I want to go back to that method, at this point, then this, then we are here. Okay, then after that mtext is not null, old length, so they are now sent before text change, then notifying but pre-computed, then pre-commit experiment don't match the parameter of this text view, new spinable text. If instance of a correct not, then do this, set text internal. We must go ahead and set the text before changing the movement method, because set movement method may call set text again to try to upgrade. So set text internal is called, then this one is calling, what is this method internally? Okay, we have mtext character sequence, if I'm not wrong, we saw this. Yep, character sequence. Then they are checking pre-computed, and after that now this is the paint, design paint, then density, compatibility, highlight paint, movement, then attribute, text color, text size, theme. Then from here they are getting all that information, which is if we are sending from the XML, appearance, recycle. But this is, but we are now in a wrong method. If I'm not wrong, we need to go back in a set text. At this point, send on text change, on text change. So this is an interface, if I'm not wrong, which the client implemented. Yes, so you internally empty template pattern method can be overridden by subclasses. Okay, so if you are not aware of template method, so maybe we will discuss that in a different video. Come back again, move here, then check. What else? So, and at this point is done. Then this is also a set text method sets the text view to display the specified slice of the specified character array. In this case, what they are doing, sending the API or notifying, then creating a new character wrapper. And if it's already there, then they are updating that, then they are calling again the set text method. And so this method is the one who is responsible to paint that text. Can we try to do something? But in this case, set content view, and when I'm saying call that, so okay, so I need to generate separately first context, then text view dot set text hello, then set content view text view, and then it should run. So what I can do, we can check how that is going to call this, where it's going to do the painting. So it's calling this, then calling this, then calling this. Now we are here. So is there any suggestion? Hello, now the text is hello, still is hello. Then note it's not span, there is no filters. Then notify before, so notify before means yeah, it's empty before that. So there will be len, then it's calling that method or notifying to that method. Then listener, no, then now pre-computed, what is pre-computed value, it's still null. Then if it's null, then it's going here, then it's going here. Now what is taking care of this? Okay, text utils or string or span string, and now my text is still hello. Then buffer type is normal. I'm not sure what is buffer normal type. You can read inside of that if you want. Then transformation, m transformed is now text, and now text length is okay. Then not null, send on text changed. Okay, on text change. So now text is changed, but notify editor. So now it's done. So same method which we saw, it's calling inside, and then after that did the paint of that string hello, and now we can see. So this is one method. Then what else we do? So we also do sometimes click listener, so we can check click listener, or maybe what we can do, uh, text view dot set on click listener. We will check this in a button. And anything else which mostly we used every day in a text view. So padding, yep, we do. So I think we can move towards the button, but we saw how it's extending view, and also we can see how many methods are coming from the view. So now you can see the inherited methods. It's it looks like these gray methods, grayish methods, or like disabled method name, they are all coming from or available from the view, and these are the original methods which are the text view. So like this one, get text, yeah, I remember. Is there any method get text? So I used to use this method also. So in this case, this method is not overridden, it's a part of a text view. And so they are doing a lot of stuff also in a text view, and the total number of lines of text view is 13,959. So if you plus 30, sorry, how many? This one is 31,178. Okay, 31,000 plus 13. So it's like 44,000. So every time when you create a one text view, there are 44,000 number of lines. Okay, now moving towards the button. And this is my favorite class. Why? The total number of lines are 182. Simple is that. And it's extending from the text view. So the hierarchy is view, text view, then button. No extra interface. What is under the hood happening? Okay, it's calling this, then this constructor, and this super constructor is calling in a text view. So, and there are only two methods which are not available in a text view. In a button, one is getting a class name, and then these are also okay. So these are also overridden. So it's not given created by button. So button is only have their constructor, nothing else. So once I'm implementing, for example, value b button. Okay, so I think this one is a compose one, if I'm not wrong. So import from the widget, then this, and then I'm saying okay, set on ClickListener. Now this ClickListener is part of view. Okay, and in case of a text view, when I'm saying okay, text view dot set on ClickListener, again it's calling the same view set on ClickListener. So it means anywhere on any widget when you are implementing on ClickListener, under the hood it's implemented in a view. Now we can try to understand this, how the set on ClickListener works. It's basically I give this interface from here, from main activity, sorry, and then once it's given here, what they're checking is clickable. If not, then now they are going to make this clickable. So that is one more thing. If somehow you make some view as is clickable false, but later you are also adding a click listener inside of your Java code, then it means it will override your XML. Like it will not obey the XML. It will automatically do set clickable true, and now there will be some, it's not a bug. I'm sure if someone is implementing, he really know okay, it's a false in a it's not a clickable, so you should not do in a Java this click listener. But under the hood, if you do, the view system will not take care. It will say okay, I will make this as a clickable. So it's not throwing an exception in my opinion. Maybe the good thing is they can throw an exception by saying hey, it's already in a XML you are saying it's not clickable, but now you are trying to set that, and then they should throw. But I don't know what is the behind the scene their logic. Then after that, what they are doing, okay, get listener info, I'm on click listener, and then they are setting. So every time if I call this 3 times from, for example, same class main activity 1 2 3, so first, then second will override the first one, and the third one is override the, okay, so it's not like kind of they under the hood they can save multiple click listeners. Then we can go to this. So it's we are already aware of this one, but main activity, then go to the click listener, get listener info. So this class looks like important. So they have a listener info. If not if initialize, if not then initialize. Okay, and then what is this? Okay, it's the internal, it's a static class listener info inside of a view. And what this will do, okay, so this one is responsible for all kind of listeners inside a view. Focus change listener, I'm sure you maybe you never use, but most there is a chance you use this for the for for many things. Then this one is a one-to-one relationship, so most probably set. This is an array list, it means it looks like a add method, so you can add multiple listeners if you are interested, kind of observer pattern at this point. Then this one is also one-to-one. Then what is this on attached stage listener? This one is also multiple array list. Then this one is a click listener, so listener used to dispatch click events. Now long click listener, yes, I used but not a lot. And then what other, okay, so they have all the click listeners, not sorry click, all the listeners are available inside of a view class. And then view class also have internally a static class which is named listener info. Touch listener, hold listener, okay, then how many types, okay, so these are all the listeners which are available. Then once it's initialized, I'm going to set this on how many places they are going, like how they invoke this, so that is important. So at this point they are initializing where they are invoking. So one is this and the second one is this, so we can check perform click. Okay, so perform click, once the perform click is called, at that time if you set the on click listener internally, there is a sound also. Okay, so play sound effect and then call, and then this is invoking the kind of a callback because it's a listener, a click listener interface. And then this is the view. Then who is calling perform click, and it also return true or false. So in this case, if there is some issue, it's not clickable, then I think it's returning false. And they are also doing some other things, notify all click listeners. So we can check perform click. Oh, it's called from too many places. But in case of only view, if I want to check in a view, so perform click internal. So there is a one more class, must notify autofill, and who is calling this method, call on multiple places. So action click. Okay, this one is accessibility. Then this one is called on key up. Key up, I think so. When the button clicks and it's going up, so at that point they are calling this. Okay, then this one is called on touch event. Okay, then perform click implements runnable. So in this case, what they are doing, so on touch event, so mainly if you ever play with the canvas, or maybe try or make your own custom kind of a UI, or maybe playing with the game, making some kind of a game on a surface, then you need to play with this method. And if you ever play with this method, you can understand this code very easily. So how they are making all these button pressed, if it's a press, then if it's a long click, it's a short click, it's not short click, it's a click. And everything is happening inside of this, and then from here they are passing that information, what kind of event is occurred. Nice. So one is this click listener. I think we can summarize this to, because otherwise it's pretty long video and maybe it will be boring. So we have a view class which has a lot of information. It's kind of a goat class or a goat for the UI system in Android. And then everything is extends from the view, like if you know view group, basically linear layout extends from the view group, and then view group extends also from the view. We will discuss that in a different video. But view is everywhere, and inside of view there are 31,000 number of lines. And now we saw text view extends from the view, but text view has some internal more implementation. There are some new methods, it's not only they are overriding. But we saw button is some kind of a magical class where they are only calling under the hood the super constructor which is a text view, and they are overriding two methods, nothing more than that. And in the end, all the listeners, click listeners, especially all kind of listeners, are the part of a view, and there is a listener info object which is responsible to take care of that. And I think so, if I have kind of a relative layout or a frame layout or any layout, and if I say okay, set on click listener, so basically that click listener is also coming to from the view due to the inheritance. But we will see, maybe I'm wrong, but that is my hunch now after reading this code. So see you in the next video. Bye.